The time is 10 a.m. and this is WKYT Midmorning. Strong winds and rain have left a trail of damage in parts of central Kentucky.
A surprising decision involving British voters and the European nation.
And a trio of Wildcats are ready to begin their NBA careers.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Well, good morning to you and welcome in. It is Friday, June 24th. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Boy, what storms we lived through yesterday and last night.
I'll tell you, some of them were loud, no doubt about that. And what we're left with now, calmer conditions. It's going to get hot for the weekend. Meteorologist Micah Harris is in our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good looking day in store this afternoon, but not so much right now. Right now we still have the clouds overhead, but these are actually lower level clouds, and what that means is once you get into the heating of the day, you'll actually see those start to separate. So for the most part, just look for a mostly cloudy day until we hit mainly toward the afternoon hour. There is a possibility at a stray shower far north and northeastern zones. As you can see, it's not the greatest look, but it will get better. I promise you that. This weekend is going to be very warm. I'm going to show you how high we go with those temperatures coming up.
Okay, see you then. Thank you.
First, this mid-morning, voters in the UK delivered a stunning blow to the European Union this morning, and it's had a profound effect on the stock market in Great Britain and in the U.S. as well.
Yeah, a lot going on with this. Stocks in the U.S. are plunging. In the early trading, the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 500 points, or 2.8%. That was just in the first few minutes of trading today. The NASDAQ Composite sank 158 points, 3.2% down there. That's the biggest drop for U.S. stocks since September. European markets fell even more. France's benchmark index lost 8%. Britain's fell by 4%. And the British pound plummeted to a 31-year low. In the end, UK voters split 52 to 48% to leave the 28-nation bloc. Tina Krause has the latest from London.
British Prime Minister David Cameron made a shocking decision to step down after the UK voted to leave the European Union.
I do not think it would be right for me to try to be the captain that steers our country to its next destination.
The UK has voted to leave the European Union.
Initial polls suggested a close race, but voters in Northern England and Wales helped tip the scale in favor of independence.
The sun has risen on an independent United Kingdom.
The Prime Minister called for the Brexit referendum under pressure from members of his party who claim Europe costs and controls too much. Anger over mass immigration fueled the Leave campaign because of the EU's open borders.
It does demonstrate the level of division and anger actually in the country. I think that it really is a wake-up call for Westminster.
Britain's decision to leave the EU is already being felt here and around the world. The British pound plummeted to a 30-year low against the dollar following the news. Back in April, President Obama said a Brexit would put any future U.S.-UK trade deals in jeopardy.
Because our focus is in negotiating with a big bloc of the European Union to get a trade agreement done. And UK is going to be in the back of the queue.
Britain has been a part of the 28-nation bloc since joining 43 years ago, but formally separating won't be easy. The process is expected to take at least 2 years. Tina Krause, CBS News, London.
And British Prime Minister David Cameron expected to be speaking with President Obama within the next few days on the historic referendum there in the UK. Well, after 3 consecutive First Alert weather days, we have some relatively stable conditions in central Kentucky. There was some danger literally in the air yesterday afternoon and evening.
A good portion of the state hit hard at some point during yesterday's storms, and the severe threat arguably was highest in Scott County at one point. A large portion of the county was under a tornado warning for nearly an hour. Emergency managers didn't receive any reports of a tornado touching down, but heavy rains did create a mess for many people.
Debris and chaff and hay and trash and logs and everything else, it gets in the fence and you got to clean it out. It makes a mess.
Emergency officials say no injuries were reported as a result of the storm. Here in Lexington, firefighters say a house on Richmond Road caught fire after it was hit by lightning. The homeowners say the strike set their roof on fire. They say it made a loud booming noise, but they didn't realize what had happened until their neighbors called telling them to get out. Firefighters say everyone, also the pets, got out safely.
Which is good. Also in Lexington, a fallen tree damaged a home on Rosemont Garden. Crews say the tree damaged the roof and a front awning. A portion of Rosemont Garden was shut down briefly. It is now back opened up this morning. Firefighters say no one was inside the home was injured. The storms took out several trees in Bourbon County, many blocking roadways. Road crews were able to clear most of the debris fairly quickly. A woman living on Clay Kaiser Road told us she believes a lightning strike took out her Bradford pear tree.
I heard a big clap like a thunder, and then it just went over, I guess, because I didn't see it. I went out and looked on the back porch, and it was already down.
Bourbon County officials say no injuries were reported as a result of the storm there.
Fire officials are trying to figure out what caused a Versailles home to catch fire late last night.
That happened just after 11 o'clock on Amsden Avenue. The fire was contained to the attic, but because of the location, the only way crews could put out the fire was to cut a hole in the roof. Firefighters say the couple and their dog all made it out safely. California firefighters are battling a wind-driven blaze that has destroyed dozens of homes in central California. The fire started yesterday afternoon, moving from canyon to canyon, consuming everything in sight. The flames tore through more than 80 homes around Lake Isabella, California, and in just a few hours, crews on the ground and in the air frantically tried to get people out and get control of the blaze. The Kern County Fire Department live streamed the chaos on Facebook.
I've never been in a wildland fire where I've seen so many homes burned.
We didn't know it was going to come this way until it hit over the hill, and it just went so fast.
The fire has burned nearly 4 square miles and about 1,000 homes are under threat now. The 8th annual Lexington Pride Festival will kick off tomorrow morning, and thousands are expected to attend, and security will be in full force. More than 25,000 people are expected to fill the streets in downtown Lexington. They'll be listening to live music, checking out local food vendors. Members of the LGBTQ community and the Lexington Police Force are making sure they'll be able to do it in the safest way possible. They met recently to discuss security after the massacre in Orlando. The festival begins tomorrow morning at 7 at the Robert F. Stevens Courthouse Plaza downtown. It runs all day.
Yes, I think I have my voice
back now?
Thank you very much for that assist.
Read a few of your stories there.
That's right. Well, the first round of the NBA draft is history, and now 3 former Wildcats know where they'll start their professional careers.
Jamal Murray was the 7th overall pick. He will suit up for the Denver Nuggets. The Suns picked Skal Labissiere 28th overall and traded him to Sacramento. He'll be joining former Wildcats Willie Cauley-Stein and DeMarcus Cousins, as well as Rajon Rondo. John Calipari says his former players now have to prove themselves.
Well, I've been there before with guys. I mean, later in the round, and it's hard. It was hard to sit through it. But you know what? The greatest thing, doesn't matter where you got picked, you're in. Now you go prove that you should have been picked earlier.
Tyler Ulis was the 34th overall pick. He will join 4 former Kentucky guards in Phoenix, including former teammate Devin Booker. So some pros to cheer for now.
That's right. They just had to wait maybe a little longer than they wanted to, but it's a big night for them.
Sure.
Well, keep it right here this mid-morning. Celebrities from Hollywood, Nashville, and the world of sports are back in the bluegrass to help kids in central Kentucky.
We'll take you there, show you what's happening, and members of the music industry are speaking out about gun violence.
Trying to get the clouds on out of here, and they will break up as we go through the day for most locations. Do we see any rain chances for the weekend? Because you know it's going to be hot. We'll have that coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Clouds overhead not helping us out that much, but I will tell you this, it actually feels quite nice outside. Some dry air filtering on in as those storms pass by. Yesterday afternoon and off into the evening hours, even last night, even right around midnight, we still had a few storms down in southern Kentucky, and those have since moved on out. Can't rule out slight chance of rain far. When I say far, you go as far as you can toward the Ohio River Valley, up toward Ohio River border, or the border, Ohio River that is, and also the West Virginia-Kentucky border, and that is your best shot at rain today. And even that is a very, very slight chance. So most of us won't see anything. It looks like it could rain on us at any time. We're at 73 degrees right now in the London-Corbin area. Frankfort coming in at 75 degrees, and we'll start to see those clouds separate just a bit later on today. I do expect some sunshine for most of us. It's not going to be full-blown. I don't expect full-blown sunshine, but for the most part, you will get at least some peaks of sunshine today later on this afternoon. 86 degrees is the high. We head off into the evening hours, heading out to the ball fields, heading out to dinner. All looks well, 81 degrees, and it actually looks pretty dry too. Off into the night and into tomorrow morning, no problems for any events kicking off tomorrow morning. But let me tell you this, morning hours will feel much nicer than the afternoon. We're at 91 degrees there for tomorrow. And then we hit Sunday at 93. The difference from these 2 days, we have two differences. Number one, not a good rain chance whatsoever there on Saturday. Most of us stay dry. I don't see any problems. The thing that goes in towards Sunday is only a small chance of rain. So there is a difference in that. Number two is the moisture content. You'll really sort of feel that moisture stream on in here on Sunday. And so it'll feel like the mid-90s there on Saturday, but it'll feel like right around 100 degrees there on Sunday because that moisture streaming on in. And that heat index will really start to skyrocket there on Sunday. It's going to be, trust me, it'll be a hot 2 days in a row there Saturday and Sunday. And then next week we start to see some storms move on in. So guys, today at 86 degrees, and you know, if some of us, remember, we're not looking at full-blown sunshine once these clouds start to separate, but if some of us get caught up in some of those clouds, maybe east, southeastern Kentucky, for much of your day, you'll stay right there in the lower 80s, maybe around 80 degrees. So if you get the clouds out, mid-80s. If you don't, check out upper 70s, lower 80s. And either way, that's still a pretty nice feel this time of year.
Be comfortable.
Right.
You won't have the beautiful sunshine, but it'll get there.
That's true.
Well, a good show for a good cause in downtown Lexington.
The annual Children's Charity Cabaret was held last night at Heritage Hall. It's part of Children's Charity Classic Week, and the event included dinner, music, and a performance by comedian Jeff Foxworthy. Everybody loved the show. Children's Charity Classic leaders say they are able to give a lot back to the community.
It's kind of fun to catch up with these guys. I haven't seen them in a few, people like Johnny Bench and all, and it's cool to be able to give back and do something. You know, your children's hospital here is just amazing, and so it's cool to be able to do that with your celebrity, to use it in a small way to help somebody else.
The two-day tournament begins today, and we'll show you portions of the event tomorrow from 3 until 6 p.m. here on WKYT. A labor of love for our folks here at the station.
Certainly does a lot of good for a lot of people. A summer thriller might scare you away from the beach. Also, Adele goes back to Spotify.
And musicians are joining forces about gun control. Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
The music industry is calling for an end to gun violence. Billboard magazine posted an open letter to Congress demanding gun control measures. More than 200 musicians and executives signed on, including Katy Perry, Paul McCartney, and Lady Gaga. Al Pacino finally made the list for the Kennedy Center honors. More than 40 years after the first Godfather movie, the Oscar winner will be recognized for his influence on American culture. Also on this year's list, gospel singer Mavis Staples and the rock band The Eagles. Adele's latest album is now available on streaming sites. The British star released 25 in November, but kept it off Spotify in order to boost album sales. Opening today, Blake Lively stars in the beach thriller The Shallows. A young surfer finds herself in a life or death fight with a great white shark. Lively says even as she's hunted, her character remains sympathetic to the shark's point of view.
She swims up onto its feeding grounds. You know, she's a threat to the shark's survival. He doesn't know what she is, and it's something that's coming towards his food source.
Lively spent time diving with real sharks before the shoot, which helped her understand their behaviors. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, coming right up, he's been touring since he was 19, making people laugh all over the country.
We'll sit down with comedian Brad Williams next on WKYT. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $363 million, and tomorrow's Powerball jackpot is $203 million.
Welcome back, Andy. It's so good to have you with us on WKYT at Mid-Morning. He started doing stand-up at age 19. He's become one of the most in-demand comedians working out there today. And this weekend, he brings his act to Lexington, to Comedy Off Broadway.
We're happy to have Brad Williams here with us today. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Glad to see
In the
you.
house.
Thank you guys so much for having me. And it's kind of cool that you guys didn't go with the dwarf angle when you were introducing me, because then when the camera just went on me, I know a bunch of people at home were just like, what the hell? You know, like, and they just, because when dwarfs sneak up on you, it's that you're not expecting it. And it's kind of, you don't know how I'm going to react. You don't know how my voice is going to sound. I know it's very deep, but you're not assuming that. You're thinking that when I start talking, it's going to be like, okay, I'm going to have a bourbon and have a good time. You know, that's not how it is. But the act is very fun. It's very high energy, and I'm definitely looking forward to being here in Kentucky. And although the rain scared the hell out of me,
Me too.
Right?
Rough and the storm.
Yeah, because you know, puddles, me being 4 feet tall, that's not fun. I'm walking around, all of a sudden, my life has changed forever. That's not good. And I can't swim. I'm not, some people, maybe you guys are swimmers. I can't. I got this head, which is an anchor, and then I got a butt that would make a rapper's girlfriend modest. And so, like, it's huge, and that's fat, so that floats. It's not good. It's not fun for me. It's not fun to swim, but thankfully it looks like that's passed, and now we can just focus on having a good time this weekend. And this is my first time headlining in Kentucky.
Oh, great.
Well, welcome. We hope you enjoy it.
You've probably heard about Comedy Off Broadway. Great club.
Yes,
you know?
it's a great club. A lot of comedians across the country talk about it. I hope the citizens here know how lucky they are to have a fantastic club like Comedy Off Broadway and get the kind of talent that they get. You know, like Brad Williams is there this weekend. Whew, he's a good one. He's one you should definitely check out. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to be here. My parents are from the South, from Georgia. So I know it's not Kentucky, but yeah, you guys do bourbon, they do racism. So it's not. You guys have your different exports. But I'm extremely excited to be here, and we did a show last night, which was fantastic. The crowds were great. And I was really sort of. It's always nice to be welcomed into a new area. And yeah, I could not be more excited to be here.
Kind of fed off that audience.
Yeah, and you guys actually have a minor league baseball team here in Lexington. And on Sunday, I don't even think the comedy club owner knows this yet. I'm throwing out the first pitch. So yeah,
great.
I'm gonna go to this. I just found that out. So come see my shows, have a great time, and then see the ball game, because like. To see a dwarf throw a baseball, I'm pretty sure you get 3 wishes after that. So I'm pretty sure everyone in the stadium there will have a great time. So see me tell jokes, see me throw out the pitch, and I'm just gonna indulge myself in all that you guys have to offer.
Have a delightful time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming. And we hope you'll keep it here on
Keep it
Mid-Morning.
right here. We're checking in with Mr. Food Test Kitchen next. Welcome back. Today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, down-home shredded pork.
And it only takes 4 ingredients to put it all together, including root beer.
I don't know about you, but I'm not one of those people who puts their slow cooker away for the summer. As a matter of fact, I tend to use it even more since it keeps my kitchen nice and cool. So today, I thought I'd show you how to make one of my new summertime favorites that's low in carbs and goes together like this. We start by searing a couple pork tenderloins until they're nice and brown on all sides. Then we put them in a slow cooker and top them with some thinly sliced onions, root beer, and a good amount of barbecue sauce. The secret that makes it so flavorful, it's the combo of the root beer with the barbecue sauce. And if we're watching our carbs and calories, we can always use a diet root beer. After they cook for most of the day, we shred the tender as can be pork with a couple of forks until it mixes with the sauce. Then we can eat it on a roll, or for a diabetic-friendly and lower carb option, maybe serve it on some Bibb lettuce along with some shredded carrots, scallions, and coleslaw. And when you roll it up and take your first bite, get ready for some good eating. So here's what I suggest. Go online and get the recipe for our down-home shredded pork. This way you'll have one of my summertime favorites whenever you need it. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a low and slow way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Okay. Fill up on that.
I would eat that by myself. I mean, all alone, just me. Yeah. That looked good right there. Okay, let's look and see what's going on in toward the weekend. You're doing any cookouts later on this afternoon, you'll be just fine. These clouds will start to separate in most locations, so you will get some sunshine later on today. But then we head off towards your weekend. The sunshine still sticks around there on Saturday. But look at those temperatures. We're at 91 degrees on Saturday. That's not even the hottest day. 93 there on Sunday. Now, the difference from these 2 days is 91 and 93. They're not that far apart on the way they feel outside. You won't be able to tell a difference, except for the fact that humidity is really increasing on Sunday and will actually bump our heat index values to right around. And heat index is basically just the way it feels on your skin. When you walk outside, you're thinking, God, it's really, really hot. That's what a heat index is. And that throws the moisture and the temperature together.
And it's going to be how hot?
Roughly 100 degrees.
I mean, it was there yesterday. It was just awful for a while, right?
I look forward to that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for WKYT Mid-Morning. We have a lot of news stories in progress for the news at noon, and we'll see you then.
See you then.